chemically no different from eating large quantities of chocolate. This is mainly because of the fact that sex and food activate the same parts of the brain. In addition, sex literally makes women pretty by increasing estrogen levels in the body, making hair shinier and skin softer. Not only it makes your outside beautiful, according to some researchers, in addition to greater confidence and self-esteem, sex increases the body's production of human growth hormone, which improves muscle tone. It can also help you with headache. As much as 6% of the world's population suffers from sex addiction. Sex addiction is not currently recognized as a true psychological disorder. Part of this is because sex itself is a normal, healthy human behavior like eating and sleeping. Many people enjoy sex and wish to engage in it more often than they normally do, but persistent sexual desires, thoughts, and behavior can become unwelcome and problematic. A subset of individuals who become preoccupied with sexual fantasies and urges act on these impulses while feeling that they have no control over those actions. This pattern of behavior is often referred to as sex addiction. The most amazing part is people with sex addictions don't really enjoy sex more than people without sex addictions. They simply have a compulsion to have sex. Currently, researchers are only able to roughly estimate how common sex addiction is. According to a systematic review from 2014, observed prevalent rates of sexual addiction range from 3% to 6%. And from all the countries in the world, sex addiction is common in the United States. At the low end, this review indicates that about 3 out of every 100 adults have serious sex-related issues. At the high end, the level of impact rises to 16 out of every 100 adults. The most accurate estimates likely fall in the 3 to 6% range. Some studies indicate that men develop sex addiction roughly twice as often as women. The average male sex addict has 32 partners, and the average female sex addict has 22 partners. Research shows that without treatment, the chances of a sex addict suddenly giving up their addiction are 1 in 100,000. "166,000 people are having sex at this minute, and 1/4 of them are cheating on someone." According to the Penguin Atlas of Human Sexual Behavior, sex occurs 120 million times a day. That's 10 million people an hour, or 166,666 people a minute. Since the atlas was published in 2000, world population was just under 6.1 billion. These numbers should be slightly higher today. According to a new study by YouGov, roughly 1 in 5 people surveyed reported cheating on a partner. To gather this data, YouGov surveyed 1,000 Americans over 18 about their dating habits, relationship experiences, and preferences. They found that 21% of 18 to 29-year-olds and 17% of 30 to 44-year-olds have cheated at least once. Dating apps make it easier to cheat without getting caught, and according to a study by YouGov, men are 3 times more likely than women to use dating apps and sites for casual sex. Apparently, the millennials are more likely to cheat using a dating app, with 11% of the respondents confirming they are using dating apps to cheat on their partner. For decades, men have been considered the greatest cheaters. They've topped the charts for cheating more than women since the dawn of time. However, recent data from a survey conducted by the National Opinion Research Center at the University of Chicago has indicated that gender patterns tend to change. The gender gap is narrowing among younger adults, as 12.9% of the American women aged between 18 and 24 have cheated, compared to 15.9% of their male peers. It is estimated that if someone cheated before, there is a 350% chance that they will cheat again, compared to those who have never cheated. In the same study that states that cheaters will cheat again, they found that those who have been cheated on will most likely be cheated on again. Regular sex can make you feel as happy as earning an extra $100,000 a year, according to the National Bureau of Economic Research. Proverbially, money buys neither love nor happiness, only sex. You know what they say. Success in the boardroom guarantees success in the bedroom. But nobody ever tried to prove it. Recently, however, two economists, David G. Blanchflower of Dartmouth College and Andrew J. Oswald at the University of Warwick in England, submitted a working paper called Money, Sex and Happiness, an empirical study, to the National Bureau of Economic Research, one of the leading organizations in its field. In their study, Mr. Oswald and Mr. Blanchflower analyzed the self-reported sexual activity and levels of happiness of more than 16,000 American adults who participated in a number of social surveys since the early 1990s. Happiness is notoriously difficult to define, and the surveys make no attempt to do so. The respondents simply record how happy they believe themselves to be on a sliding scale. By factoring out the measurable effects of other life events, this study revealed, to no one's surprise, that the more sex, the happier the person. Furthermore, the economists compared the levels of happiness produced by a vigorous sex life with other activities whose economic values had been calculated in prior research, allowing them to impute, in dollars, how much happiness sex was worth. They also estimated that increasing the frequency of sexual intercourse from once a month to at least once a week provided as much happiness as putting $50,000 in the bank. A lasting marriage, by comparison, offers about $100,000 worth of happiness a year. That is, on average, a single person would need to receive $100,000 annually to be as happy as a married person with the same education, job status and other characteristics. Divorce, on the other hand, imposes an emotional toll of about $66,000 a year. The study found that men who paid a prostitute for sex reported they were considerably less happy. Does sex lead to happiness, or are happy people just more likely to lead each other to the bedroom? That's still under investigation, but there is evidence that psyche and sex feed off each other. The world record for a woman who's had the most sex with different men in a 24-hour period is 919 men. In 2004, porn actress Lisa Sparks set a new world record for having sex with the most men in a single day during the annual World Gangbang Championship in Poland. The American porn star competed against two other women, one of which was the former world record holder who had sex with 759 men in a day. She achieved this record by having sex with 919 men over a period of 12 hours. That would mean she spent only 45 seconds having sex with each man, which is about 13.5 seconds longer than is often necessary. Nearly 10% of all dreams include sex. Sex dreams aren't just the territory of horny teenage boys. In fact, nearly 1 in 10 dreams contain some R-rated sexual content, and that's true for both men and women, according to a study published by the American Academy of Sleep Medicine. There were some gender differences though. Women were more likely to have sex dreams about politicians, celebrities, or their exes, while men were more likely to dream about having sex with multiple partners at once, according to new research. The study, authored by Antonio Zadra, focused on over 3,500 home dream reports collected from men and women. Sexual intercourse was the most common type of sexual dream content, followed by sexual propositions, kissing, fantasies and masturbation. This study found that both men and women reported experiencing an orgasm in about 4% of their sexual dreams. Current or past partners were identified in 20% of women's sexual dreams, compared to 14% for men, and public figures were twice as likely to be the object of women's sexual dream content. Multiple sex partners were reported twice as frequently in men's sexual dreams. People love to think about Brad Pitt when they masturbate. Sex toy company called Tenga surveyed 13,000 people between ages 18 and 74 across the world and asked which celebs they think about while they're under the sheets solo. Obviously, Kylie Jenner made the top 5 list for most masturbated to female celebrity, along with Jennifer Lawrence, Kim Kardashian, Taylor Swift, and Charlize Theron. For the men people fantasized about, the list consisted of Brad Pitt, Johnny Depp, Chris Hemsworth, Tom Cruise, and Chris Pratt. Did your celebrity crush make the cut? Tell us on the comment below. People have the most sex in July. It's no secret that hotter temps outside can translate to a hotter life under the covers. There's actual proof that summer does indeed mean more sex. July is the peak month for sex, followed by August, according to a survey of 2,000 people by online sex toy retailer Lovehoney. According to the survey conducted on 2,000 Britishers who were asked to share the month when they have the maximum number of sex sessions, it revealed June, July and August to be heating lives in more ways than one. It clearly indicated that people preferred having sex in warmer months rather than cold ones. Another study conducted by an app, which analyzed 1.27 million users, reported that women preferred having more sex in summer months. 41% of the total sessions they had in the summer, 38.8% times they had it in the fall months, 36.8% times in the winter months, and 35.8% times in spring. About a quarter, 24%, of people reported having the most sex in July, followed closely by August, 22%, and June, 18%. Only 8% of couples reported having the most sex in May, 7% in December, and November brings up the bottom spot, with 0% of couples reporting that month as being their sexiest. Sex protects against cancer. According to some research, men aged 50 and over who have frequent sex are less likely to be diagnosed with prostate cancer than men their same age who do not have sex often. A study published in the journal BJU International Trusted Source found that intercourse and masturbation may reduce the risk of prostate cancer in older men. Another study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association Trusted Source found that frequent ejaculations in a man's 20s may also help decrease his risk of prostate cancer. Having sex at least once per week can lower a man's risk of heart disease by 30%, stroke by 50%, and diabetes by 40%. It has also been shown that men with an active sex life are more likely to live past 80 years.
So good.